I'll go ahead and say the prayer. If you'd like to join me, you can place your hands on your heart. Grateful and thankful for this sacred space, this holy instant. Grateful that God is here, present in us, as us. Grateful that each person joining us is the picture of God, God appearing as each one of us. Grateful to hold each other in this holiness and this perfection as we share this sacred space together. Grateful to bless Faith and Jennifer as they bring us the music and the message today, knowing that Holy Spirit is speaking and moving in and through them. Grateful to receive the blessings that are ours to receive today. Grateful to be a blessing by our presence here today. Grateful to declare that this time together is expansive, clarifying, holy, and truly helpful. Grateful that as we restore our minds to the truth that all of life benefits, because there's only one mind. So we welcome this remembrance. We receive it, accept it, and we share the benefits with everyone because we are one. In grace and gratitude, we let it be, and so it is. Amen. Okay, so we're all prayed in. Faith, you look beautiful today, as always.
Well, thank you so much.
And I am not the host today, so I don't have the introductions or the bios to read. Faith, I know that you have spoken here a number of times, been the musician here a number of times, and we're always blessed by your presence. And perhaps I will allow you to introduce yourself further.
Okay, well, can you hear me? We're good? Okay, great. So I have been actually involved with Masterful Living for so long and through Jennifer's service for many, many years. I have been a musician all of my life, a singer-songwriter, um, and always felt like I loved music with messages, music that inspired, music that really moved us. And I believe that's what music can do. So I write my songs as inspiration, as places for us to think about and to open our hearts. I call my music artistry. I started playing the guitar when I was 10 years old, and I didn't want to sing at the time because I didn't think I could sing. But my guitar teacher made me sing. He said, "You're singing." So we worked on all kinds of songs, and I always say I must have sang every Beatles song ever written because he loved the Beatles. So we sang all of those. Then I ended up going to getting my degree in music and working in music, and then getting involved with Agape. And I became the musical in the musical ministry. I was the music facilitator and co-facilitator of our Sunday night service at Agape for about 15 years, and have been in this music ministry for several years since we started the service. So grateful to be here, grateful to really be able to lend my music wherever I can, hoping that it will uplift and inspire us. So I'm going to start with a song that was one of Jennifer's favorites from Renee Stahl, one of her favorite musicians and one of my favorite musicians. Then I'm going to sing one of my songs, and I'm not sure how we're going to end up. We'll see as we get there what's going on in the service, what calls me. So this song is called You Didn't Know. Let me get my guitar up. And you didn't know that you were loved. What would you do if you knew you were loved? How would you feel if you knew you were loved? Whoever told you that you were not good enough? No need to know why. It's just a lie. However long ago somebody told you so, will you decide? It's just a lie. You didn't know that you were loved. You didn't know, so you gave up. No matter what they say, don't throw the truth away. You'll see in time it was a lie. Even when it gets hard, don't forget who you are. Will you decide? It's just a lie. You didn't know that you were loved. You didn't know, so you gave up. What if I knew that you were loved? What if I told you that you were loved? What would you do if you knew you were loved? Oh, you didn't know that you were loved. You didn't know, so you gave up. What if I told you that you were loved? What if I told you that you were loved? What if you knew that you were loved? Oh, what would you do if you knew you were loved?
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Faith.
Um, I just got a note here that Jennifer checked in and asked if I could give a talk today. Wasn't really prepared for this, so I think I will. I want to start with, it's interesting because I wrote down on a piece of paper as the slides were coming up earlier. Trust would settle every problem now,
Mm.
right? So I'm going to trust that I'm going to share something with you. Um, Let me grab a piece of paper. I want to share something. Okay. Can you hear me? Am I okay? We're good? Okay, great. Kind of far away here, but um, I years ago, I was in a writing class that Jennifer, thank you, Morgan. I was in a writing class that Jennifer was leading because she's a wonderful writer. In case you haven't noticed, the emails that we get are so beautiful, and her classes and her books and the things she has to say. And the instruction that we got was to write the best thing that I ever did. So I thought about, I didn't think, I didn't really think about it. Something came into my mind, and I wrote about it. So I'm going to share it with you. It's a little bit long, but um, I think that it's about trust as well, and it's about really listening to ourselves. So I'm going to start out. He was so young, and when I first met him, he used to frustrate me. What was I going to do with him? I guess I didn't take him so seriously, but there was something about him that made me want to help him. I hadn't been teaching for very long, and I was still searching for how exactly to guide someone, teach them what I know, and help them remember what they knew. Tim was there to learn to sing. But it soon became apparent to me that there was more at stake here. I wanted to tell him that he was so off the mark. He would miss his sessions or be late for them. And often it was because he was partying the night before. I decided that I had to be strong and tell him the truth and be truthful with him. Of course, at that time, um, I was feared. I had this fear that I would lose a valuable student if I rocked the boat. But I decided that it wasn't about being careful, that I need to stay the high road, and I knew I had to be straight with Tim. So I told him that this level of commitment was not going to get him what he was looking for. I told him that if he missed a session, he would absolutely have to pay for it, that any excuses would not cut it, but also that I would be there for him. So, of course, Tim missed a session, and Tim paid for that session. This happened a few times, and we started to talk about why. So I discovered that Tim was afraid to let the guys down in his band. They wanted to party, so he partied with them. He didn't trust that he was enough outside of the world of his band. He thought that he needed them, and so he would compromise himself. We talked a lot about what Tim wanted. We talked about what that would take. We talked about his talent and how to develop it. we talked about how necessary it was for him to share his talent. Tim began to show up on time for his lessons. I learned that teaching someone to sing was a lot more than singing. Tim taught me that. I traded to Tim what I knew about singing and songwriting, and he gave me back willingness. It was like a great dance, and still sometimes it was a struggle. He would fall back occasionally, and I wouldn't know what to do. I learned patience. He was eager. The perfect balance. He quit his band, wrote a dozen songs, and found a producer who was interested in his work and wanted to work with him. I helped him to sing better, and I was, as I found out later, his mentor. He was really on his way. One morning, the day after our last lesson, I received a call from Tim's roommate. Tim had died. He was hit by a car. He was riding his bicycle in front of his apartment when he was hit from behind. He went into a coma and died overnight. I was stunned. I thought, how unfair that was. Tim was trying so hard. His roommate told me that he felt compelled to call me and let me know because Tim talked about me, our lessons, and his vocal sessions as being the most important thing in his life. He said that he knew Tim would want him to call me. At first, I just really missed him. He was 20 years old and gone. Now my life would go on, but it would never be the same. Never be the same. Although Tim never reached the goals he had set for himself, I always remember him as being successful. He taught me not to give up on someone and to search inside myself for how I can best serve others. I learned that I helped someone discover who they really were, and they valued that. It was the best thing I ever did. So, sometimes we think, what is the best thing we ever did? I know, really look inside yourself and trust that we've all done some amazing things in this world. We are on the spiritual path to know love, to be love, to trust love, to find a way inside of ourselves to search, how can I best serve others? You know, the Course in Miracles urges us to ask God, where must I go? What must I do? What must I say? Who can I serve today? Who can I serve today, sweet Spirit? Who can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. So I've been asked by Spirit to talk about emotions and how we must value our feelings. We're not here to let our feelings to mute them, to not look at them, to pretend they don't exist because they're painful or because they feel like too much or because other people have told us to mute our feelings. Our feelings are a vast window into who we are as human beings. If we don't feel our feelings and express our feelings, we might as well be AI. If we don't express our feelings in our relationships well, or when we, send out an email or speak to people or put our work out into the world, if we don't touch into our heart our heart, where our feelings are, and our feelings are in our body. They're not up in our head. Now our minds will create beliefs, ideas, things that we believe in, and they will create that. Those feelings, those ideas, will create feelings in our body. But it's in our body that we feel them. So as we release our feelings, if we were to just go into the base of our spine and feel what's there, what's in the bottom of our body, what's in the base of my spine? Well, there's power there, there's safety there. I feel powerful. I feel safe. If I say those words, feeling into that energy, I feel powerful, I feel safe. Now I can move from that space. I'm a vocal coach, and I teach singing, and I teach voice, and I teach expression, and I also teach emotional freedom. But I find by voicing our feelings, by getting in there and voicing our feelings. Now, what's the flip side of that in the base of our spine? What happens when we don't feel powerful, we don't feel safe? Well, that triggers anger, irritation, resentment. So if I'm closed down in that area, that chakra, that first root chakra, that's anger brewing in there. That's resentment. Right. You can see it, you can hear it in my voice, can't you? Now, I've practiced working with these emotions because I'm an actor and I teach actors. And science has taught us that we cannot really feel our feelings fully unless we feel them for at least 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Now that feels like an eternity, doesn't it? Ooh. So what if we had a place to practice and we could work that out? I feel angry. I feel angry right now. I feel angry that what's going on in our political system. I feel angry. Now notice, I'm not saying I am angry, because I'm not. That's not who I am. I am not an angry person, but sometimes I feel angry. And by getting in touch with that feeling, oh, I do feel angry about children not having enough to eat. I feel angry that someone doesn't trust their gifts and talents to share them. Wow. Now I can release that. Wow. Release it out of my body. You can just see how my body just shifted, right? With a lot of practice, you can feel those feelings, shift them out of your body. Now, what can I do to help people get their gifts and talents out into the world? What can I do? How can I show up? I can show up and help children learn to give their gifts and talents so that they can do something good in the world. Their Spirit asks us just for a little bit of willingness. A little bit of willingness. What I learned by working with Tim was that when I checked in and was truthful and honest and showed up for him, he was willing. When we are truthful and honest and we check in and we show up fully as love, fully as God, fully as who we are, we will find people will meet us with willingness. Our little willingness goes so far. The emotional life that we have, there's so many different emotions in our body. I found that they correlate with the emotional energy centers in our bodies. And as we get to know them and free them up and feel them, not only is our life empowered, but we are empowered. The world around us is empowered. I want to share with you one of my techniques that I have. I call it the aha moment. And it's an emotional freedom awareness process. And the first thing is to accept our feelings, to accept them. That's the A. Oh, I was having that feeling yesterday. Oh, I had it this morning. I had a little anxiety today as I was preparing music, and I had this kind of funny feeling that Jennifer was going to ask me to speak today. Like, I had this funny feeling, right? So I was like, oh, I didn't prepare anything. I'm not sure what I'm going to speak about. And here I am. So I checked in with that feeling and I went, okay, I'm having that feeling. Then I accepted it. I honored it. Oh, I'm honoring that I had that feeling. That's a part, that's what happens sometimes when we don't really trust ourselves. We get a little anxious, don't we? I didn't trust that if I was asked to speak today, that I could let Spirit speak through me. So I got a little anxious. That's what happens. I don't trust, and when I go into that meeting, that I can have Spirit move through me, that I can guide Spirit, the Spirit can guide me, that I can lean and trust into. Trust would settle every problem now. I knew there was a reason I wrote that down when we first saw those slides. Trust would settle every problem now. And so I trust, I honor that feeling's coming up for a reason. Then that's A, H, accept, honor, and appreciate. And appreciate that as human beings, we have so many feelings. It's a wide range of feelings, and our feelings are not us. They're just the way sometimes that we feel things and that we feel things. And what I know is that if we do not allow ourselves to feel all of these feelings, like if I don't allow myself to feel that anxiety, I can't get to the confidence and the trust. If I kind of hold that in, what else am I holding in? Trust, confidence. Notice anxiety's here, isn't it? Right in the middle of our body. Worry, doubt. Oh, butterflies in my stomach. And yet, if I allow myself to acknowledge that, honor it, accept it, and appreciate it, then I can release it. And now I can move from action and confidence and letting myself be drawn forward instead of pushing myself forward. There's something about that, right? I got to push it through. It almost, our body looks like that too. But if I open up and let the energy open up, I can allow that to come through me. Well, I think that I've said just about what I'm going to say today. And I am going to uh, bring us into prayer. But I'm going to ask Morgan. Morgan, would you like to bring us into some prayer here to center people into a meditation?
I'd be happy to do that. And then are you going to lead a meditation after the prayer?
I'm going to let you do that, and I'm going to sing a song.
Okay, so I'll pray for us and then lead us through a meditation, and then I'll pass it back to you.
Sounds fantastic.
Okay. Thank you so much, Faith, for stepping up on the fly. You did wonderfully.
Thank you, Morgan.
Our spirit did wonderfully through you.
Exactly.
All right. Grateful and thankful for this moment of prayer. Grateful and thankful to settle into our hearts and receive this word, allowing the message that Spirit had for us to just integrate, assimilate into our being. Grateful and thankful for this message of trust, this demonstration of trust. Grateful and thankful for the powerful story that Faith shared about her student Tim and about just the ability to be truly helpful in whatever way we're serving, and the reminder that There's so much taking place in the invisible that we may not even be aware of. We most likely are not aware of the impact that we have in our daily lives and every person that we encounter. But we are willing to be truly helpful. We are willing to allow Spirit to illuminate our next steps, to show us what you would have us do, what you would have us say, and to whom, where you would have us go. And we place on the altar any tendency to question, our worth, our value, or what we bring to the table. The truth is that of ourselves, we do nothing, but with Christ, all things are possible. And we declare our willingness to just let Christ move in and through us always. Grateful and thankful that we go together, that we give as we receive. We receive our blessings now and we share the benefits with everyone because we are one. In grace and gratitude, we let it be, and so it is. Amen. And I'm just going to invite you to stay there with your eyes closed as we move into meditation. And just ask Spirit right now to illuminate in your mind a place in your life where you maybe have been resisting, trusting, has there been any resistance to trust what Spirit is guiding you to do? And then we just remember Faith's words, trust would settle every problem now. Just inviting you to silently declare your willingness to trust Spirit. Course in Miracles tells us that when we put Holy Spirit in charge of any perceived problem or challenge, a win-win-win outcome is certain. And sometimes we find ourselves in situations that we can't see a win-win solution. And that's where the trust and faith comes in. So as I invite you to move into trust about whatever situation Spirit brought forth in your mind, I'm now going to invite you to examine your body. How does it feel to think about giving this situation to Spirit? What feelings are coming up for you? Is there any fear? Is there any anger? And just notice what you're feeling. Notice where you're feeling it. And we're going to practice the aha with these feelings. Whatever feelings are coming up for you, silently affirm that I accept this feeling of blank. No judgments. It's totally neutral. I accept this feeling. And we're going to take it a step further. I honor this feeling of blank. Whatever the feeling, now we're moving to honor. Not only is this feeling that is showing up in our body neutral, it is perfect. It is holy. There's nothing that is apart from God. So even this feeling is worthy of our honor. And now we move into appreciation. Can you find appreciation for whatever feeling comes up for you around trusting spirit to resolve whatever situation was brought forth in your mind at the beginning of this meditation? I appreciate this feeling of blank that is coming up for me. Okay, and now we move our attention down to the base of our spine. We declare silently to ourselves, I am powerful. I am powerful. I am powerful. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. Mm. Okay. Inviting you to just bring your attention back to the present moment. Take your time as you slowly open your eyes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for inspiring that faith. I'm passing it back to you for some music. Oh, you're muted.
Morgan, that was the most beautiful meditation. Um, it's like I don't know that I could have centered it better. You just so spoke so beautifully. Spirit moved through you. Thank you. I know we all went very deep there. I did. And I'm going to sing a song right now called We Are the Angels. And it's a song I wrote a while ago, but I believe that it's really, really very, very part of where we are today in our world. you feel lost, alone, but you're not forsaken. We're going to carry each other and raise our voices to the sky. Carry each other and sing into the night. The time has come, the dawn has just begun. The time has come for the angels. The time has come. We are the angels. Let us find mercy in this night and grace to forgive in this fight. Oh, I won't turn away, won't let the darkness in. We will lift each other up again. We're going to carry each other and raise our voices to the sky. Carry each other and sing into the night. The dawn has come, the time has just begun. The time has come for the angels. The time has come. We are the angels. Yes, we are the heroes we've been waiting for. We are the heroes we've been waiting for. The time has come. We are the angels. Oh, yes, we are. We are. We are the angels.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Faith.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, did you say that that was the song that you had written?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So I believe GJ is getting our breakout rooms ready.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Faith? I was going to say we could invite them to discuss whatever came up for them around your share and around the meditation.
Yeah, and I also would, it would be great if you could share one of the best things you ever did in your life.
Yes,
Let's
absolutely.
celebrate the thing where we show up, what we did when, and share with each other and celebrate how we are the angels. We keep showing up.
I love that. Okay.
Perfect.
So when GJ invites you to your breakout room, the suggested discussion is whatever has come up for you during the talk today, during the meditation today, and then going back to Faith's lovely reading that she shared with us, what's the best thing that you ever did? That's a tricky question. It'll be interesting for people to have that discussion. Okay, GJ's ready. All right, let's do it. 14 minutes for the breakout. See you all in 14 minutes. Twelve minutes for the breakout. I'll just add those questions to the chat in case people need to remember. Okay. All right, Faith, I think it's just me and you for the next 11 minutes.
Okay.
How did that feel?
It felt great, actually. We're here with the Facebook Live too, as well. So,
Yeah.
and why don't you go ahead and spotlight yourself as well?
Yes, good idea. If I can remember how to do that. Oh,
You,
there we go. GJ did it for me.
because he's amazing. Tech genius, right? Yeah. So that was a really a wonderful. Um, I loved being able to share that today. I had come across that reading a couple of days ago, and I ended up sharing it with my email this week. And I thought about how often we don't do that. We don't look back in our lives and say, what was the best thing I ever did, and why was it the best? What did
Mm,
I learn from it? Um, because we all do wonderful things. I mean, we raise our children. We teach people. We are kind to someone on the street. We um, are able to change our mind about somebody.
yeah.
Okay? We open ourselves up like I did with Tim.
Hmm.
I was almost ready to give up on him. I was frustrated. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Flaky
Yeah.
person. And yet, I didn't give up. And I listened. And it was a wonderful experience.
I could hear what a teacher he was for you as well in that story that you shared.
Hmm.
How at what stage in your career did he show up in your life?
Well, I've been teaching for about, I think I've been teaching for, almost 5 years at that, maybe not quite that, 4 or 5 years. But I taught a lot about singing, and I knew how to teach singing, and there's a difference between teaching and mentoring and
Hmm.
and and coaching. So coaching is everything. Then during that time, I had done a lot of spiritual work. I was in some science of mind classes that I took, and it really opened up me as a person. And I realized there was a lot more that I had. That patience was a big thing for me right then, and to learn how to be patient in every moment with him. And then the other thing I realized that I just started thinking about that I did, Morgan, was that I actually talked to him and I asked him questions. I said, "What is going on with you? What do you want?" And I think so often when we're trying to help someone, we don't ask them what they need.
Right. Yeah. I feel like you most likely became an even more effective coach in so many ways as a result of working with him.
Absolutely. Yes. On the night before last, I was at a wonderful charity called In a Perfect World, and they were raising money for actually helping children throughout the world become change makers.
Mm, that's beautiful.
And so Prince's wife is um, she's the ex-wife. She is the one who is now married to Eric Benet, and together they have this foundation. And she started out going into working with the kids in a homeless shelter, and she went in and she was, trying to help them and everything. And she would ask them, in a perfect world, what would you want right now,
Mm,
right? And they'd say different things. And there was this one little boy, and she said, "In a perfect world, what do you want right now?" And he said, "A blue crayon."
mm,
And he was coloring, but somehow, and as he had escaped an abusive home, and they got to the shelter, they had left his blue crayon at home. And so
mm,
she said, she realized it's about touching in with people. What do you want? What do you
mm.
need?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
And
beautiful.
we can ask that to ourselves. I do that all the time. Faith, what do you really need right now?
Mhm. Mm. And I'm imagining the blue crayon was about more than the blue crayon for the
Hmm.
child.
It was a sense of things that he knew, right? That he could
Hmm.
hold on to. I want my blue crayon.
Yeah. Yes. And this makes me think about um, the Unleashing the Soul of Money, how in that book, I'm forgetting the author's name right now. She 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 helps um, impoverished communities, but it's not about just giving a handout. She goes into the community and asks the community to brainstorm, like, what would help lift you out of poverty, what would support you.
Yes,
um, and it's so empowering. It's such an empowering question, not like, here, allow me to help you and lift you up, but to allow them to
yes,
help themselves.
yes. That's Lynn Twist. That's her name.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and it's in my song. We're going to carry each other and lift each other up.
Mm,
Um, but it's about also that we are all the angels.
mm.
These
Yes,
little children can have created, these little children have gone into all kinds of communities in this charity that I was talking about, and helped other kids.
that's so cool.
Yeah. So Morgan, what's the best thing that you ever did?
Oh my gosh, I was thinking about that while you were speaking. It's a tough question to answer. And also, it goes back to something I touched on in the meditation. Like, there's so many things that we've done that we have no idea of the repercussions and the ripple effects that they've had. So, how am I to know? But um, for sure, I would say, um, I mean, this may be a cop out answer, but for sure, my journey of self healing, and like when I first picked up A Course in Miracles and sort of started down this spiritual path, um, and began to do a really deep dive on looking at my stuff and healing my stuff, that I know for sure has had such a ripple effect in my life. And my life circumstances are totally different now. My relationship with my spouse is totally different now. Like, it's impacted so many different things. So in terms of direct impact on me, that feels like the greatest thing I've ever done. But again, it feels a bit like a cop out answer.
Yeah, but I don't think that it is at all, because the greatest thing the best thing you did was to be able to open yourself up to transformation. And by doing that, you're able to help change the world around you.
Yes. Yes. Be that fulcrum point for healing.
Yes. Um, as we heal ourselves, then we can, when we interact with people in the world, and we are going out around, our day, where our interactions are totally different.
Yes.
Mhm. And that goes back to, I realized at that time when you asked me where I was in my journey, I had really been doing a lot of spiritual work. Um, I'd found agape. I was going to, classes there and working there. And absolutely, I don't know that I would have been able to help him the way I did had I not been on that journey.
Right. Like if he had shown up as your student 5 years earlier, the outcome might have been totally different.
Hmm. Yes, it probably would be.
Hmm.
And he was as much my teacher as I was him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love how that works. I
Yeah.
can say the same thing about my husband.
Well, and like I said, I learned patience, and
Hmm.
then he was eager. So that patience and eager was this perfect balance.
Yes. Yeah. And it's just further evidence that all things are gently planned by one whose only purpose is our good. Like we can't orchestrate this stuff.
No. Yes. I was I was Spirit was planning for me to speak today,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? And I went to the event on Friday for a reason,
Hmm.
so, so that I could and share that today. The reading that I had found earlier in the week was what I was supposed to share today.
Yeah. Yeah. So beautiful. So I have to ask, have you ever done an impromptu, spontaneous speaking engagement before?
Once at Agape, when I was facilitating the Sunday night service, our speaker didn't show up. So again, I spoke on trust.
Wow. It's always an appropriate topic.
Trust, trust. And we should end with that. Trust would settle every problem now. And we have to
Yeah.
ask, what and who are we trusting?
Hmm.
Are we trusting the ego's voice? Are we trusting Spirit's voice?
Yeah. Where did that, is that in A Course in Miracles quote, or where did that come from? Trust would settle every problem now.
It was one of the things that flashed on the screen in the beginning when we were waiting for everyone to come in. So I
Mm.
believe it's a Course in Miracles
It's,
quote.
yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah. I see that everyone's coming back from the breakout rooms.
Yes. Well, it's been a joy to be with you today, Faith, and yeah, to co-pilot with you.
Oh, you too. I thought your meditation was just beautiful.
Um, Thank you. So, one question, Faith. I believe we're going to share a little bit about the upcoming offerings that Jennifer has, and then
Yes.
are you prepared to offer another song to close us with at the end?
Yes, and I'll
You
share. I have an upcoming free training about the emotional work that I'm doing that I can put in the chat as well.
perfect.
Oh, okay. We have people back, coming back, I hope. Hmm.
Okay.
Two people coming back. Beautiful. And you can put in the chat as you're coming back anything that maybe an aha moment that you had,
Yeah.
feelings that you were honoring, or perhaps something that you discovered maybe. It helps sometimes to interact in the chat.
Yes. Yes. So any ahas or breakthroughs that you had in your breakout, feel free to post those in the chat.
We have a quiet group today.
Yeah. I imagine some folks are on the Camino hiking with Jennifer.
They are. I know a couple of people who are able to go. It's so fantastic. I'm so excited for that trip. I can't wait to see her, what comes out of it for her and what she's able to share with us.
Yeah. So why don't we share about the Finding Freedom program, which is the most upcoming offering from the ministry. Have you ever taken Finding Freedom, Faith?
I did. Um, I was in Jennifer's very first Masterful Living class many, many years ago, but I did take Finding Freedom too. I have. It's beautiful. It's changed so many lives.
Yes. So for anyone who has never taken Finding Freedom before, it is Jennifer's spiritual boot camp, and it is a 10-week program. And there are 7 weeks of classes and 3 buffer weeks in case you fall behind. You can catch up in those 3 weeks, and you meet with a small group every week for 10 weeks, and you have access to Jennifer Hadley's Sacred Circle for 12 weeks, I believe. And the classes, you are pre-recorded, so you watch the classes and do the homework on your own time each week, and then you meet weekly with your small group to share your breakthroughs and insights that are coming up. It was the first class I ever took with Jennifer, and it was super powerful to really kickstart I guess really the integration of what I was studying of A Course in Miracles, and really integrating it into living it as Jennifer, her motto is. So Brooke, I see you've got your hand raised. Did you have a question about Finding Freedom or something to add? We may need to get him unmuted.
Are all the classes that she's having for that boot camp going to be on Mondays? I think I thought that one of them starts at 2 o'clock, the first Monday, the 16th. Are all the other ones going to be on Mondays?
Okay, thank you for that question, Brooke. So the Sacred Circle call is GJ can confirm the day and time of that. That is on Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember. And the class call.
It's on Thursday.
And then the class calls.
I know. I mean that.
Sorry. Go ahead, Brooke. Okay. So
I was just saying it's on Thursday.
Okay.
I have a slow computer, so it sounds like I'm interrupting you, but my computer doesn't allow us to coordinate right. Mine's too slow. So I'm not interrupting you, or I'm trying to say something. So maybe you heard all that. But I have a conflict with another group that I do on Monday afternoons. So I really like to know. I can wait. I'll find out, I guess, after the first one. You don't have to answer or look for it. I'm curious for my own benefit.
Got it. Okay. All right. I am going to answer that question now, just in case it's helpful for someone else, Brooke. So the Finding Freedom classes are pre-recorded, and on, I believe, Friday, October 13th, you will have access to the first week of classes. And there's one 90-minute pre-recorded class video with Jennifer, and then about half a dozen shorter videos. And that is the week 1 curriculum. And you watch each of those videos on your own time, whenever is convenient for you throughout the week. And then the following Friday, week 2 classes will be made available to you. So the classes themselves are not live, and you do them whenever is convenient for you. The live components are the Sacred Circle, which is Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, and your small group, which is called a Freedom Posse. there are 3 different days and times to choose from. So you will pick the day and time that is most convenient for you, and it will be the same day and time each week for 10 weeks. I think those are the only live components, except for there's one additional bonus class with Jennifer that is live, and that's just a one-off extra live class. That I believe is November 5th. I can't remember the time. So I think that addresses your question. Okay, anything else to add about Finding Freedom, Faith?
No, I think you have it all. It's a wonderful class, and it's great that those are all recorded. That way you can all see them. And then the Sacred Circle is beautiful. We got a lot of live interaction too. I'm going to go ahead and put into the chat a couple of things that how people can things that I've got going on. I have a free training on the emotional work that I'm working with people right now. The finding and freeing up your emotions. Your emotions, your feelings matter. You know, it's about that, and it's about where they are in our body and all of that stuff. And that link in the first link, raisingyouриmpact.com/emotional freedom October 2023. There'll be 3 different trainings. You can choose which date you want to go. They're all free. And find out a little bit more information about this work. It's beautiful. You can also email me at faith@raisingyourimpact.com if you would like to, if you have any questions or you want to interact with me. I'd love to hear from you. And then you can go to one of my websites, theartistfirst.com, which is my teaching and coaching website if you're interested in that.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing all of that. And you've inspired me, reminded me to share my information as well. So I am in the spiritual counseling certification program. I am working towards my 111 hours that are required for the certification. So I'm doing 60-minute counseling sessions on a love offering basis. And that first link you see there is my booking page. If you click that link, you can book a time with me if you're interested. And if you want to follow me on social media, I just shared my social media links there as well.
Good.
And is there anything else before? Oh, let's share the donation link. There we go. GJ just beat me to it. So if you would like to make a contribution to keep these Sundays with Spirit and other free offerings going, this is the link to do that. And thank you all for being here today, for your grace and patience with Faith and I as we made our way through this on the fly. And it's been so great being with all of you. Thank you, Faith, for closing us out in another beautiful song.
Thank you, Morgan. So grateful to have everyone here today. So this song I've been singing quite a lot at the service. It's called Someone Needs a Prayer Today. Someone needs a prayer today. Have you done your part? Someone's in despair this day. Have you prayed from your heart? So many are trying to find their way, and they need the light, you know, for our prayer of love. It lifts them high, it heals them, sustains them, and it sets them free. Our prayer of love lifts them high, it heals them, sustains them, and it sets them free. Have you spoken the word today? Did you give your all in prayer? The world's in need of what you say. Did you answer the call and pray? sets us free. Thank you. Thank you all for staying and being with us this morning.
Yes, thank you. And I love that song. Thank you so much. And it is a perfect segue. I will say a prayer of love for us to bless us on our way. Thank you so much, Faith, and everyone for being here today, and pray with me. So grateful and thankful for the joy, the abundance, the power that we feel right now in our hearts as we join as one. One with our I Am presence, one with love, one with each other. Grateful and thankful for this sacred community, this space to remember the truth, to hold each other with Christ vision. Grateful for Faith and the trust she demonstrated today. Grateful for the message and the music that Spirit brought through her. So grateful that our cup is filled to overflowing from this time together. And so we intend to go about our day being a blessing to everyone we encounter, giving from the overflow of that which we have received right here and right now. So grateful. In grace and gratitude, we let this be, and so it is. Amen. Thank you, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Thank you.